The Edo period, from 1615 to 1868, was one of the high points of Japanese cultural achievements. Over 200 years of jurisdiction, this period carried a peace and prosperity which brought artistic, cultural, and social development that could not have been done in the time prior. In 1603, when Tokugawa Ieyasu became shogun, Edo was made as a base for his nationwide military government. Tokugawa's shogunate separated everyone into four different classes: the warriors, the farmers, the artisans, and the merchants. The shogun made sure that money dictated all. Coming after medieval Japan, the Edo period brought a Japanese culture with a national system that had a centralized state. A functioning political system was implemented where the shogun and emperor acknowledged each other's existence and cooperated for order in the land. The shogun had military power while the emperor stood for moral power. Edo was a small fishing village originally, but after 1615 it was allowed to become much more. There were no enemies or war to concern about, so the samurai were able to consolidate their time to educate themselves. Literature, philosophy, and arts were being discussed among the warriors, such a great time for enlightenment. The Tokugawa brought a final period of traditional Japan that was a time with internal peace, political stability, and economic growth. The Edo period formed cities like Tokyo with a high concentration of isolationism and a growth of cultural centers inside the city. The Tokugawa had a strict system focusing its trade with China and Korea. In 1633, the shogun created a ban on all foreign books in order to keep the outside world barred. Art continued to flourish even with the government restrictions, so much so that by 1700s it had become the largest city with an urbanized population. The ban for literature was lifted in the 1720s, and the Edo period's progression began to decline. The Tokugawa shogunate government started to degrade financially. Natural disasters and famine struck the area, and class breakdown was starting to see its end. It was not until America aggressively negotiated with Japan and its leaders to open up to more trade. With this time of great peace, literature in Japan was able to flourish, with many mentionable artists like Chikamatsu Monzamin, Matsu Basho, and Ihara Saikaku. Monzamin had a famous playwright in the Benraku Puppet Theater. Basho was known for his perfection of haiku poetry, and Daikaku humorously depicted urban life. With the rise of middle class in the new capital of Edo, forms of popular drama developed which would later evolve into kabuki. They had their stages for art, but troubles followed their actors and actresses. Youth and women were constantly harassed to the point where they were all had to be replaced by old men. The Edo society was heavily impacted by religion, and their art was a representation of it all. The making of art in Edo adapted into religious practices, paying tribute and views and to the area. The Edo period had a second wave with Itogawa, Hiroshu, and Katsushika Akasu being a big push. Genroku culture was concentrated primarily in the pleasure quarters, the tea houses, the theaters, and the bathhouses of Osaka, Kyoto, and Edo. Shunga was the explicit focus of the wood kali paintings. Though very out there, these paintings show man and woman equal. Okio means pictures of the floating water. Color woodblock prints became a signature after 1765. Prostitutes has a high focus on the inexpensive woodblock prints despite their low social status, which picked up again in the late 1900s with actual pornography coming out, adding to its elegance. The Edo period is a significant part of Japanese culture, and many of its features and art can be seen today all around the world.